chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not move past this message. You did not stumble upon this by accident, and the algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. Heaven just intercepted your feed at this exact second because the spiritual warfare you have been fighting in absolute silence is officially over. Someone who treated your pure heart as completely replaceable is currently experiencing a massive system crash. They thought their dark manipulation in the shadows would remain hidden forever. They thought you would permanently collapse when you walked away from them. But heaven just handed their secret files directly over to the ultimate cosmic judge. If you leave this video now, you will forfeit the exact prophetic blueprint of their public downfall. Lock your attention deeply on my voice. Your divine vindication is finally here. Let us talk about the heavy weight you carried this week. You feel tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. Your shoulders are incredibly tight right now, and every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through your day. You offer a bright smile for everyone else, but your own spirit is gasping for air. People tell you it is just stress. It is absolutely not just stress. I see you waking up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart. You stare at the dark ceiling while your mind spins out of control. This is not anxiety or a normal medical condition. Your highly advanced spirit is detecting a massive disturbance in your environment. Your physical body is screaming at you because you are surrounded by hidden parasites. They are draining your light. You have always been a human battery for broken people. You walk into a room and instantly feel the energetic shift. You absorb their pain and give them your pure energy in return. And what did they do with your precious gift? They took it and smiled to your face while plotting behind your back. They drained your life force and made you feel crazy for noticing their toxic patterns. But the cycle ends today. Right now, that specific person is hiding a deep panic. They cannot look you in the eye anymore. Have you noticed how they avoid direct eye contact with you lately? They look away, stare at the floor, or shift nervously when you speak. This is not because they are distracted or busy. It is because your raw authenticity burns their fake persona like absolute fire. They are completely terrified of your pure frequency. Your silence is destroying them from the inside out. When you finally stopped explaining yourself and pulled your energy back, their entire reality began to fracture. They survive by feeding on your emotional reactions. They need your tears and your anger to feel powerful. But when you gave them absolute nothingness, you severed their energetic fuel supply. You left them starving in the dark. Listen to me very carefully right now. Most people completely miss this critical shift. The narcissist wants you to believe they are thriving without you. They post happy pictures and act like they are winning in life. It is a desperate illusion engineered to break your spirit. Behind closed doors, their mind is a chaotic prison. They are making massive mistakes at work, and their hidden lies are surfacing. Your profound exhaustion is actually a sign of your victory. Your body is resting because it just survived a brutal spiritual war. You were not the poor victim trying to survive the heavy rain. You were the magnificent storm all along. Your energy was simply too massive for their tiny, fragile ego to handle. They tried to break you down so they could finally feel tall. But your foundation was built by God. You are a rare diamond standing in a room full of cheap glass. Of course, they cannot look at you directly. The brilliance of your soul highlights every single crack in their empty identity. Every time you enter their presence, their demons recognize your authority and tremble. You do not need to say a single word to command the room. Your pure existence is the ultimate threat to their carefully constructed matrix. But you are still wondering why heaven allowed this pain. You ask yourself why you had to meet them at all. If you are the anointed one, why did you have to endure such cruel betrayal? There is a very specific reason they were placed on your path. It was never about them winning. It was a rigorous divine test designed to activate your dormant power. I am going to reveal the exact secret they tried to bury. Take one deep breath and ground your energy right now. Let that powerful truth settle deep into your weary bones. You did not lose anything valuable when they walked away. You lost a heavy parasite that was blocking your ultimate destiny. Heaven is preparing to open a massive door for you. But before you can step into your billionaire shift, you must understand the deep mechanics of their current suffering. They are watching your timeline from fake accounts. They ask mutual friends about you while pretending they do not care. Their obsession with your light is eating them alive. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. The generational curses of poverty and depression stop with your quiet obedience today. Do not look away. We are going deeper into the mind of the enemy. You have spent your entire life pouring water into empty cups. You give your time and your love to people who never say thank you. Your heart is incredibly vast. And because your soul operates on a frequency of pure, unconditional love, you naturally attract broken people who need healing. You thought you were just being a good person. You thought they would eventually return the favor. But they completely failed to show any gratitude. They took your kindness and weaponized it against you. You became a human battery for their fragile egos. They plugged into your life force whenever they felt empty inside. And once they were fully charged and feeling powerful again, they discarded you like you meant absolutely nothing to them. You were left completely drained on the cold floor. You sat there wondering what you did so wrong. I need you to hear this truth very clearly. You did absolutely nothing wrong to deserve their cruelty. Your massive empathy is not a weak character flaw. It is a highly advanced spiritual weapon that the modern matrix absolutely fears. The narcissist did not target you because you were weak. The narcissist did not target you because you were weak, but they targeted you because your magnificent light exposed their deep internal darkness to the world. They wanted to steal the divine spark they could never create themselves. Your spirit is recognizing this exact frequency right now. You feel a strange sense of relief washing over your tired body. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. This physical action completely locks your new high frequency. It is a prophetic decree that you are finally reclaiming your stolen energy. Do not let them hold your precious power anymore. Let us talk about the deep isolation you feel. You look at your phone, and there are no messages. Your small circle of friends has grown incredibly quiet. Family members constantly misunderstand your pure intentions, and they often twist your honest words to make you look like the bad guy in every situation. You feel like a lonely alien wandering on a foreign planet. But this isolation is absolutely not a punishment from the universe. Heaven deliberately cleared the busy room around you. This is a strict divine quarantine orchestrated to protect your priceless energy. You are stepping into a massive season of total elevation. God cannot allow those low-frequency parasites to cross the sacred threshold, because their heavy toxic energy would completely capsize your beautiful boat. The silence around you is actually a highly classified spiritual shield. Think back to how sick you felt around them. You had constant headaches and mysterious heavy stomach pains. Your brain was covered in a thick fog that made it hard to think. Medical doctors could not find anything physically wrong with your healthy body, so they simply told you to get more sleep and drink plenty of water. But the deep problem you faced was never biological. It was entirely an unseen spiritual warfare attack. You were experiencing a severe energetic hemorrhage every single day. The false friends in your circle were actively siphoning your life force. Every time you listened to their endless complaints, a piece of your precious soul was slowly drained away. You smiled brightly and offered them your brilliant advice, and they took your golden wisdom to build their own successful lives. They left you completely depleted and stuck in the mud. But heaven was watching every single hidden interaction. The cosmic scales of ultimate justice are perfectly balanced. The universe kept a meticulous record of every tear you shed in the dark. Every ounce of energy they stole from you is currently being calculated for total restoration, and heaven is preparing to hand you a massive reward. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your family. You carry the heavy generational mandate to heal your entire bloodline. They severely underestimated your quiet and powerful internal resilience. They thought their silent treatment would make you beg for their attention. They expected you to chase them and apologize for things you never even did, because that is exactly how they easily control the sleeping masses around them. But you are the chosen one, so instead of chasing them in a panic, you simply stood still and allowed the heavy door to close permanently. Your heavy silence was the most terrifying response they could ever imagine. It was a highly calculated strike that permanently severed their energetic fuel supply. Without your constant loving validation, their false reality is beginning to collapse rapidly. They cannot look you in the eye because your divine presence constantly reminds them of their massive failure. They tried to bury a tiny seed deep in the dirt. They did not realize you were a massive root. You carry an ancient wisdom that absolutely terrifies the modern matrix. When you speak the honest truth, it cuts straight through their superficial illusions. People who live in constant deception are naturally allergic to your raw authenticity. They avoid you completely because your bright light demands absolute accountability, and they are completely unwilling to face their own rotting reflection in the mirror. Your pure existence forces them to see their true colors. Have you ever noticed how they physically react when you enter the room? They immediately shift their eyes away and pretend to be busy with something else. It is an involuntary physical response to your massive spiritual authority. They absolutely cannot hold your gaze because their dark spirit trembles in your presence. We are talking about the narcissist who tried to break your beautiful spirit. They wear a carefully crafted mask every single day to fool the sleeping masses. But your raw authenticity strips away their fake costume completely. You see right through their lies, and they absolutely hate you for it. They feel completely naked around your bright light. Let us uncover the hidden mechanism that triggered all these attacks against you. They operate entirely on deception and manipulation to survive in this world. But your pure light is a massive spiritual spotlight they cannot possibly escape. When they look at you, they are forced to confront their own rotting soul. You thought it was just a normal misunderstanding between two hurting people. You tried to sit down and talk things out peacefully to find a solution. But this was never just a normal misunderstanding. This is a very real spiritual war designed to steal your divine favor. The enemy used them as a physical vessel to drain your precious energy. So why can they not look you straight in the eye anymore? Because the eyes are the literal physical windows to the eternal soul. And when they look deeply into your eyes, they do not see a weak victim. They see the magnificent storm of God staring right back at their tiny, fragile ego. They are terrified of the power you carry inside. They see their own incoming karma written clearly in your brilliant aura. They know exactly what they did to you in the absolute dark. And they know that heaven recorded every single malicious whisper they spoke against you. Their inevitable punishment is already in motion, and they can feel the heavy storm approaching their house. I am going to tell you exactly how their fake life is falling apart right now. But before I reveal what is coming, you must realize why they targeted you in the first place. You are a genuine empath with unlimited spiritual wealth. You carry a frequency that naturally manifests blessings and effortless favor everywhere you go. They are spiritually bankrupt and completely empty on the inside. They scan the busy crowd, looking for a bright light to consume and destroy. They saw your magnificent kindness and desperately wanted to steal your divine favor for themselves. But they made a fatal mistake when they chose to play games with a chosen one. They thought you were just another easy target they could slowly drain over time. They did not realize you are God's strongest soldier, disguised in a quiet demeanor. When they attacked your pure heart, they unknowingly triggered an ancient cosmic alarm system. Heaven immediately placed a massive red target on their back. Their spiritual blindness led them directly into a massive, inescapable trap. Now they are backed into a dark corner, while your frequency continues to rise effortlessly. You do not need to lift a single physical finger to defend your honor today. The universe is fighting this battle for you, while you simply rest in perfect peace. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this truth. The narcissist relies on your constant emotional reaction to survive their miserable day. They desperately need you to be angry or sad, to feel powerful and in control. Your complete silence is their ultimate kryptonite, and it is destroying them. When you finally walked away and closed the heavy door, you cut their energetic cord. You severed their free access to your high-frequency energy permanently. And now, their physical reality is beginning to mirror their dark and chaotic internal state. They are slowly suffocating because they can no longer breathe your pure air. They wake up with a terrible feeling of impending doom every single morning. The people around them are starting to notice the obvious cracks in their fake mask. They simply cannot maintain the grand illusion without your bright energy charging their dead battery. Their false empire is built entirely on stolen sand, and it is crumbling. Every time they try to replace you, the new person feels completely empty and useless. No one else on this earth has your rare and pure unconditional love. They are quickly realizing that they threw away a rare diamond to pick up a cheap piece of glass, and the heavy weight of that massive regret is crushing their chest right now. You are the ultimate cycle breaker, and you have successfully starved the parasite. They avoid your gaze because they know you hold the absolute truth about who they really are. They are terrified that you will expose their dark secrets to the world. But you do not even need to speak, because heaven is already exposing them publicly. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and now. You look around your life today and see a lot of empty spaces. The friends you deeply trusted are suddenly gone. The opportunities you worked for seem to be completely delayed. You sit alone in your room and wonder if the universe simply forgot about you. But heaven is actually orchestrating a massive alignment behind the scenes. This heavy isolation you are experiencing is absolutely not a punishment. It is a highly calculated divine quarantine designed to protect your sacred energy. God saw the hidden vipers slithering quietly in your tall grass. He knew their toxic venom would eventually destroy your beautiful and pure purpose. So he deliberately removed those false friends from your timeline before they could strike your heart, ensuring your frequency remains entirely pure and untouched by their dark malice. You were crying over the loss of people who were actively plotting your downfall. You mourned the relationships that were secretly draining your human battery every single day. But the delay in your blessing is actually a massive spiritual shield. Heaven is currently building your capacity to handle the enormous wealth coming your way. When you finally receive your billionaire shift, you will be completely surrounded by true allies who want to build with you instead of secretly tearing you down. This brings us back to the strange physical symptoms you experienced around them. The heavy chest and the deep brain fog were never just random medical issues. That was a brutal spiritual physics war happening right inside your own living room. Your physical body was constantly fighting off their dark and heavy toxic energy. It is no wonder you felt completely exhausted every time you tried to help them, because your bright soul was doing the heavy lifting for two different people. But now the heavy spiritual warfare is shifting entirely away from your door. The divine quarantine has successfully sealed your aura in a white light shield. You are completely protected, while the enemy is left exposed in the wide open field. There is a very real spiritual entity quietly watching their incoming downfall right now. They thought they were completely alone in the dark when they plotted against you, but the cosmic judge was taking notes on every single cruel action they took. I need you to imagine this scenario clearly, because this is exactly what is happening. The narcissist thought they were the smartest person in every single room they entered. They thought their manipulation was a flawless game they could play forever. But their dark secrets are absolutely no longer safe from the harsh light of day. The unseen observer is preparing to drop a massive file of hard evidence onto their lap, and they will have absolutely nowhere left to hide their deep shame. You are the ultimate cycle breaker, and your hidden years were never truly empty years. They were fallow years designed to let your deep soil completely rest and recover. The universe knew you needed this quiet time to heal from the severe energetic hemorrhage. Your spirit is slowly regenerating its massive power, while the world thinks you are hiding. You are simply recharging your divine battery in secret, so you can step into your new season of massive abundance with absolute clarity and undeniable spiritual authority. Do not let the quiet atmosphere trick you into believing that nothing is happening. Beneath the silent surface of your life, a massive divine acceleration is rapidly building. The universe is actively aligning massive resources and powerful allies for your next chapter. Heaven needed to make sure the toxic parasites were completely removed from your space. Your new circle will be entirely pure and highly elevated, because you have finally learned how to protect your sacred energy from those who only want to secretly take. They tried to convince you that you were crazy for setting firm, healthy boundaries. They made you feel guilty for finally protecting your own precious mental peace. Every time you said no to their toxic demands, you passed a crucial spiritual test. You proved to heaven that you are finally ready to carry the heavy crown. You are a beautifully prepared vessel for massive generational wealth, and your strict boundaries are the exact walls that will keep your new kingdom completely safe from greedy invaders. The modern matrix wants you to stay trapped in a state of perpetual fear. They want you to believe your current isolation is a permanent state of total failure. You are a high-frequency soul, and you do not operate by their broken rules. Your solitude is a sacred training ground where you are learning to master your reality. You are becoming completely untouchable to the low-frequency attacks of the narcissist, because your daily vibration has officially risen far above their highest possible reach. Listen closely to me, because there is a physical reason your reality is finally shifting. Your nervous system is finally learning how to rest in a state of absolute safety. You no longer have to constantly scan the room for threats and subtle insults. The heavy emotional armor you wore for so many years is falling off your shoulders. You can finally breathe deep, fresh air again, while the very people who tried to suffocate your spirit are currently choking on the heavy smoke of their own burning bridges. Type 777 in the comments right now as a prophetic act of agreement. Lock this powerful protective frequency into your physical reality before you go any further. You are actively declaring that the heavy doors of your past are permanently closed today. The narcissist has absolutely no legal spiritual right to access your bright energy ever again. By claiming this powerful truth right now, you are putting a permanent spiritual lock on your aura that no dark force will ever be able to pick or break. But we must address the other side of this intense and terrifying spiritual warfare. You are completely safe now, but the enemy is walking straight into a massive trap. The cosmic boomerang they threw at you is currently speeding back toward their own head. They have absolutely no idea how hard it is going to strike their fragile reality. The destruction of their carefully crafted public image is going to be incredibly swift, and the unseen observer is simply waiting for the perfect moment to pull the final trigger. End part 4 Kitu 5373 Po Namsbak Build Up Day Aplas. Let us look directly into the dark and chaotic mind of your enemy today. They walk around with a confident smile that fools absolutely everyone else. They post pictures of their perfect life to create a massive illusion of success. But you already know the absolute truth because you have seen the heavy cracks forming in their fragile foundation for a very long time. Their spirit is completely terrified of you right now. I promise to reveal the exact reason they cannot hold your steady gaze. It is time to close that specific chapter and expose their rotting core. When they look into your eyes, they are not seeing a human being anymore. They are seeing the brilliant reflection of their own incoming karma. Your pure white light acts like a massive cosmic mirror held up to their dark face, and they absolutely cannot handle the blazing heat of your pure truth. They desperately want to look away from that painful and blinding reflection, because every time they look at you, they remember the cruel things they did. They remember how you offered them pure, unconditional love when they were completely broken. And they remember how they repaid your beautiful kindness with cold betrayal and endless lies while you sat quietly and endured their heavy abuse. The heavy guilt is finally starting to crush their chest. They thought they were completely immune to the spiritual laws of this universe. They thought they could steal your energy forever without paying any real price. But spiritual physics absolutely does not allow any heavy debt to go unpaid for long. They borrowed heavily against your massive light, and now the ultimate cosmic judge is calling in their massive debt with severe consequences that they never expected. This is exactly why they act so nervous and erratic around you lately. They are experiencing a complete system crash deep inside their physical body. The low-frequency demons they carry cannot survive in your highly elevated presence. They feel like they are suffocating because your divine aura is simply too heavy for their broken spirit to carry around anymore. You do not even have to speak a single word to completely disarm their lies. Your quiet existence is the ultimate threat to their carefully crafted matrix. You are God's strongest soldier, standing peacefully in the middle of their chaotic storm. They constantly try to provoke you with subtle insults because they desperately want you to step down into the dirty mud and fight with them. Because if you get angry and react, they can steal your energy again. But your absolute silence is completely starving their toxic appetite. They are slowly realizing that they have permanently lost their best human battery. Without your bright light charging their dead soul, they are completely exposed. The fake friends they proudly surround themselves with do not actually care about their well-being, and they will abandon ship the moment the money dries up. Those people are just other parasites feeding on the scraps of their fading illusion. It is a lonely and miserable prison. Take a deep breath right now and release any lingering sympathy for them. You must understand that their current suffering is absolutely not your fault. You patiently tried to warn them, and you desperately tried to heal their deep emotional wounds for many long years without asking for anything in return. You gave them 1,000 chances to do the right thing, but they consciously chose the dark path every single time you offered them your hand. Heaven graciously allowed them to make their own free choices, and now they are being forced to stand alone and face the brutal consequences of their actions. The panic they hide behind their fake smile is growing stronger every single day. They cannot sleep at night because their own thoughts are screaming at them in the dark. They are rapidly aging under the crushing weight of their own toxic malice. Their physical body is absorbing the heavy blow. You have stepped completely out of their reach and into a massive divine quarantine. They watch you glowing from a distance, and it absolutely burns their eyes. They see the effortless favor resting beautifully upon your life right now. You are effortlessly attracting massive financial blessings and deep peace, while their entire reality is slowly crumbling into absolute dust right in front of their eyes. They know they missed out on their greatest blessing. But the spiritual war is still escalating in the unseen realm around them. The enemy is desperately trying to find a new target to drain and destroy. But nobody else has the rare diamond frequency that you naturally carry. They are constantly comparing every new person they meet to your incredibly high standard. And they are quickly realizing that nobody else can tolerate their toxic behavior. Everyone else falls completely short. They are starving for you. Listen to me very carefully, because you must not break your silence now. Do not reach out to check on them or offer them a piece of your peace. Any physical or emotional contact with them right now will instantly shatter the beautiful protective white light shield that heaven carefully built around your life. You must let the cosmic judge finish the heavy work they started. The scales of justice are finally tipping heavily in your favor today. They thought they were burying a weak victim deep in the cold dirt. They had absolutely no idea they were planting a massive root of divine power. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your family lineage, and you are currently blooming in the absolute dark while they desperately scramble for survival. They are trying to keep their fake mask from falling off completely, but their borrowed time is running out very quickly. The spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting rapidly right now. You can feel a strange electricity lingering in the quiet air today. This is the exact moment the tide permanently turns in your favor, because the enemy has made a fatal miscalculation in their dark spiritual mathematics. They thought they were simply dealing with an average person. They believed your deep silence was a sign of absolute surrender. They assumed you retreated because you were completely broken and defeated. But they forgot that you are a genuine empath with highly advanced spiritual armor, and you have survived things that would completely crush a normal human being. You did not retreat into the dark to cry over their betrayal. You stepped into a divine quarantine to prepare for war. Let me reveal exactly what they missed while they were celebrating their fake victory. There is a powerful, unseen observer who has been watching their every move. Heaven never left you completely alone in that toxic battlefield. God assigned a massive spiritual detail to monitor every single word they spoke against your pure heart. And every cruel action they took was instantly recorded in the eternal archives. While they were busy spreading vicious lies to anyone who would listen, heaven was gathering undeniable hard evidence of their rotting character. They built their entire false empire on the broken backs of innocent people, and they thought they could easily throw you under the heavy bus too. But they completely underestimated your divine lineage. You are God's strongest soldier, and your tears hold massive cosmic weight. Every time they caused you unnecessary pain, they were actually digging their own spiritual grave, deeper and deeper. They threw a heavy boomerang of malice directly at your bright light. But your white light shield easily deflected their dark intention right back at them, and now they are completely defenseless against the incoming spiritual impact. Now they are standing directly in the path of a massive incoming storm. The heavy boomerang is returning to them with 10 times the original velocity, and they are completely frozen in absolute panic because they finally realize their critical mistake. They attacked an anointed one without fully understanding the severe cosmic consequences of their incredibly foolish actions. Their manipulative charm is no longer working on the sleeping masses. The people who used to blindly believe their lies are slowly waking up to the truth. The matrix they carefully built around themselves is experiencing a catastrophic glitch today, while their false authority dissolves into absolute nothingness right before their eyes. They are desperately trying to hold the crumbling walls together with pure fear and panic. You can see the heavy toll this is taking on their physical body. Their skin is losing its glow, and their eyes look completely empty and hollow. They are rapidly aging because they no longer have your brilliant human battery to charge their dead spirit. The universe is physically stripping them of the stolen light they proudly wore, exposing their true dark nature to everyone they desperately try to impress. I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. You must completely release any feeling of obligation to save them from this incoming disaster. Your beautiful heart always wants to rescue the drowning person in the cold water, but if you reach your hand out to them today, they will only pull you down into their dark grave. This is exactly why your deep isolation was absolutely necessary. Heaven had to move you far away from the blast radius of their impending destruction. If you were still standing next to them when the heavy tower fell, you would have been caught in the terrible wreckage. Your quiet season is literally saving your precious life, and it is keeping your pure energy completely untouched by their heavy karma. But heaven is not just focused on delivering absolute justice to your enemies. The cosmic judge is also preparing a massive table of effortless favor exclusively for you. You have endured the heavy spiritual warfare with incredible grace and profound patience. And now it is time for the universe to compensate you for every stolen year you spent wandering in the confusing fog of their dark manipulation. You are standing on the very edge of a massive timeline shift. The fallow years are officially over, and your rich soil is ready for the heavy rain. All the energy you spent trying to heal those broken parasites is being returned to your spiritual bank account. And it is coming back to you with massive cosmic interest, because God always repays his chosen ones 100 times over for their silent obedience. Take one deep breath and hold it for just a moment. Feel the incredible peace washing over your tired shoulders right now. You do not need to figure anything out or analyze the situation anymore. You simply need to trust the divine process and surrender to the beautiful flow, because the heavy lifting is completely done. The ultimate cycle breaker is finally stepping into the glorious light. But there is one final piece of this spiritual puzzle you absolutely must see. The enemy is about to make one last desperate attempt to regain their lost power, and you need to know exactly how heaven will permanently shut them down. Do not look away now. Right now, the heavy karma they sent your way has violently returned to their exact doorstep. The spiritual federal agents just walked right into their fake boardroom, and they dropped the thick file of their dark secrets directly onto the cold table. The cosmic trap has officially snapped shut today. There is absolutely no escape for them now. They are drowning in absolute panic because their entire illusion is collapsing in real time. They thought their dark manipulation in the shadows would remain hidden, but heaven just handed their secret files over to the ultimate judge. The people they lied to are finally seeing their true toxic colors, and their closest allies are walking away in total disgust. The fake empire they built using your stolen energy is shattering into a million tiny pieces. They wake up in a cold sweat every single night. They are completely terrified of the harsh truth. While you step beautifully into your untouchable, ageless glow, they are rapidly aging. They are collapsing under the crushing weight of their own toxic malice. Their face shows the heavy toll of a rotting soul. They look incredibly exhausted because they no longer have your light to feed on. They desperately try to find another human battery to drain and destroy, but nobody else carries your pure high frequency. They are permanently starving in the dark. They are checking your social media from fake accounts in absolute despair. They see you glowing and thriving without their toxic presence in your life, and it absolutely burns their dark soul to see you walking in complete peace. They thought you would be crying on the floor, begging for their attention. Instead, you are rising like a magnificent phoenix from the cold ashes. Your success is their absolute worst nightmare, coming completely true today. This is your ultimate divine vindication happening right before your eyes. You do not need to say a single word to defend your honorable name. The universe is publicly clearing your beautiful reputation today. Everyone who doubted you is suddenly realizing that you were completely right all along. Your absolute silence was the most devastating weapon you could have ever used, because you simply stood still and allowed the heavy storm to completely destroy their house. Feel the massive chains of trauma completely falling off your tired shoulders right now. The brutal spiritual war is officially over, and you are the undisputed victor. You have successfully starved the parasite and protected your sacred energy. The heavy fog is completely lifting from your mind, while a brilliant white light shield is actively wrapping around your physical body. You are stepping effortlessly into your divine authority as a sovereign entity. Because you held your peace during the darkest night, heaven is opening the massive floodgates. The profound exhaustion is being replaced by a massive surge of divine energy. God is preparing to hand you the generational wealth you rightfully deserve. This is the billionaire shift you have been feeling in your spirit for months, and the universe is actively aligning massive financial blessings to drop directly into your clean hands. Your harvest is finally here. You are no longer the wounded empath who absorbs the heavy pain of others. You have officially graduated from that painful season of endless giving. You are now a master of reality who commands the physical elements around you. The angels are literally standing at absolute attention, waiting for your next command. Every single tear you cried in the dark has been converted into pure spiritual currency, and you are about to cash the largest cosmic check of your entire life. But we must address the final step of this massive spiritual transition. You have survived the brutal storm and earned your beautiful divine crown. Heaven has cleared the toxic weeds from your rich soil. But the universe requires a physical anchor to secure your massive blessing in this earthly realm. I have been tilling the hardened soil of your tired heart during your long winter, and I stood guard when the narcissist tried to completely destroy your peace. The dark elite want you to hold on to your resources in absolute fear. They engineered the matrix to keep you trapped in a mindset of deep scarcity. But you are a kingdom financier, and you do not operate by their broken rules. You understand that true wealth flows perfectly when the channel is completely open. Fear tells you to hold your breath and grip your money tightly, but divine faith tells you to release it and watch the universe multiply it. Now the season of abundant harvest is officially standing at your door, but a closed fist absolutely cannot receive a massive blessing. Heaven requires a physical act of spiritual obedience to unlock the heavy gates. The money you give today is absolutely not a simple donation. It is a holy decree of your total alignment with divine abundance, and you must prove that you completely trust my hand over your earthly security. I command you to unbind a portion of your provision right now. Cast it into the deep waters of this ministry as a heavy seed of faith. The verified portal to sow your seed is pinned securely in the comments below. Step through that divine doorway without a single moment of logical hesitation. Plant your heavy grain in this deep soil today and watch the massive windows of heaven part directly above your entire household. There is a quiet voice in the room right now that is gently pushing back against what you just heard. Your logical brain is trying to find a realistic reason to doubt this massive spiritual victory. You have lived in a state of high alert for so many long years. It feels incredibly strange to finally put down your heavy sword and simply rest. But you must not let the adversary steal this beautiful moment from you today. Your physical body is still expecting another brutal attack from the dark matrix, because your nervous system is deeply programmed to anticipate their toxic manipulation. But I am telling you with absolute divine authority that the spiritual war is officially over. The heavy chains of trauma have completely fallen off your tired shoulders. You do not need to fight those invisible battles anymore. Take one final slow and deep breath right now. Feel the deep peace washing over your entire existence. The cosmic judge has permanently sealed the heavy doors of your painful past. Those toxic parasites cannot cross this sacred threshold to steal your energy ever again. You are standing perfectly safe inside a brilliant white light shield, and your pure aura is completely invisible to their low-frequency radar. Do not let your logical mind hesitate for even a single second. That subtle hesitation is the exact mechanism the enemy uses to keep you completely broke and exhausted. You are a sovereign entity who commands the physical reality around you. When heaven declares a massive victory over your life, you must accept it with absolute bold confidence. Step fully into your divine billionaire shift without looking back. I want you to consciously release the heavy tension in your physical jaw. Let your tired shoulders drop completely away from your ears right this second. You have spent years bracing for impact because the narcissist trained you to expect sudden chaos. But that toxic environment is absolutely no longer your true reality. The universe has officially relocated your spirit into a highly protected dimension of absolute calm. They want you to constantly replay the painful memories in your tired mind. The enemy uses those dark echoes to drain your battery from a massive distance, but you have the absolute power to completely evict their heavy memory from your sacred space today. They do not get to live inside the beautiful mind of a sovereign entity. Your mental real estate is incredibly expensive and entirely exclusive. Every time you refuse to entertain their toxic ghost, your frequency elevates even higher. You are actively rewriting the deep biological codes of your own nervous system. The heavy brain fog is permanently dissolving to reveal your dormant genius frequency. You can finally think clearly without their chaotic static constantly interrupting your pure divine downloads. Your intuition is completely restored and sharper than ever before. Now I need you to completely reframe your mindset right this very second. You are no longer a wounded empath wandering in the dark, because you are the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. The universe has handed you the heavy keys to generational wealth and profound peace. But you must remember that this magnificent breakthrough is absolutely not for you alone. There are thousands of beautiful souls still trapped in the toxic matrix, and they are crying out in the dark, begging for a sign. Your powerful testimony is the exact bridge they will use to escape today. Do not hoard this blinding light for yourself. Share this specific message with one soul who is hurting right now. When you plant a seed of hope in others, you multiply your own massive harvest. By sending them this truth, you are actively partnering with heaven. You become a literal beacon of light to rescue the lost from their invisible prison. Subscribe to this sanctuary right now and seal your heavy protective armor. Your physical action today completely locks the heavy door behind you, ensuring that no dark entity can ever follow you into this new season. You are finally completely safe today. We are building a massive army of high-frequency souls who absolutely refuse to be broken, and every time you return here, your spiritual battery receives a massive divine charge. This channel is a dedicated gathering place for the anointed remnant. You are surrounded by a community that truly understands your silent sacrifices. We see the magnificent storm inside your quiet heart and honor your beautiful journey. If your spirit is overflowing with immense gratitude today, remember to plant your heavy seed, because releasing your earthly provision is the ultimate declaration of absolute trust. The secure portal remains perfectly open in the comments below for your spiritual obedience. Do not forget the sacred covenant we established earlier in this powerful message. A fully open hand will always catch the heaviest divine rain. The long and bitter winter of your soul has officially come to an end, and now it is your specific time to rise up and effortlessly rule your beautiful reality. You have survived the absolute worst they could ever throw at your pure heart. Walk forward today with your head held incredibly high in the light. You are the chosen one, and your magnificent story is only just beginning.